I have no idea what happened there. Okay. Some real quick technical stuff that no one ever gets to see right here on Drinks to Words By. And
The behind the scenes, the BTS.
definitely the BTS. As we are back for another show, ladies and gentlemen. And
Woo!
yeah, it's been a minute. And this is our first show of the month. I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know how many shows we're gonna do this month. So
We can
be
actually get a
patient.
couple this month.
Yeah, yeah. Next week though, I have a. I don't know if we'll be able to do one. I'm gonna try to make it. In. I have a medical appointment that I gotta
Yeah.
be at. So
Well, then that's fine. That your health surpasses our show.
thanks.
Barely.
Um, you know what's yeah, you know what's weird is this year I've had a little bit more call outs than you, and it's a rarity. You know what I mean? That's the
I
first this
mean,
season.
well, I mean, I don't know. It's. I had a kind of a busy first half of this year. You know, uh, I'm done with all my football stuff for the year.
Yeah, I can't
Did
wait to talk about that.
the championship. Just got back from the draft. In Detroit, the D.
Detroit, what?
Yeah. So no, it was cool.
Cool. And we'll talk about all that in just one moment. But it is an all drinks towards by what are you drinking today, David? The
Uh,
David
Little Kentucky lemonade,
Kentucky lemonade. What's in that? Lemonade or
Jim Beam and lemonade.
that's cool.
Well, because I can't call it a Lynchburg because it's not Jack Daniels, so it's
Yeah.
like yeah.
I
It's
didn't
like
know.
I just I took the mule idea, like whatever liquor mule. It's
Yeah.
like lemonade.
Yeah. All right, cool. And for myself, um, I've had one version of this before, but now I'm opening up. I've never had this one before. This is the Liquid Death. This is the Mountain Spring water. I've had their sparkling water, but not
Uh,
their Mountain
that's just the
Spring water.
original. That's just the
Is
original
it
water.
the
The
original?
can. Yeah, that's the original can. So when I'm in Austin and we're doing those festivals, that's what they give us. They give us those cans of water because I guess that's like the sponsor for the festival.
Yeah.
And it always kind of looks weird because at first glance it's like, are you drinking a beer?
Yeah.
No, that's just water in a can.
Yeah, that's what my life has become. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I'm kind of doing like a 1 year challenge
Hmm.
where I'm not drinking for a year just to see kind of what life is like. Need you know, I personally think I needed to cut down. Um, but yeah, so I've been just my coffee intake has through the roof. Like, like I know I was doing a lot of coffee during the show, but like after the show, it was just like, well, I, and it kind of is very indicative of like the way I was drinking because I'm like, well, there's a whole pot left. I might as well finish it. And it's kind of like the bottle of like gin. I'm like, well, there's a whole bottle. I might as well finish it type thing. So,
Yeah, but you're usually the next day drinker of coffee. So like you're just going through it within the day. You're not doing the leftover. A lot of coffee, man. That's like caffeine.
I know. It's like, and it's just like I trade one thing for another, but
That's everybody. When you give up a vice, you start either you start like relying on the other vice you had, or pick up another one. Like, all right, I gotta find something to fucking supplement this.
yeah.
Um, I've actually I've actually cut back a lot this week. Um, Doing a lot of water. I have felt better. I will admit to it. Uh, this is probably the only drink I'll have today.
Wow.
So yeah, which is saying much considering it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I've really started drinking a lot more water, and just trying to be better on my side of it too. I've realized that I wake up better, and not like I'm waking up hungover, but like I'm not bloated and that feeling. So who'd have thunk it? huh?
I
Who'd have
know,
thunk it?
right? It took six seasons to finally,
Hey, I do it for the show. I do it for the
right?
show.
There's so much that we did for the show. I did,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, dude.
and with that, I was I had to go get my smog checked about a week or two ago, and
Do you have a guy?
yeah, of course I have a guy, but the guys in the San Gabriel Valley, I'll give them a plug. VJ's out in La Puente. I've been going there for literally like 20 years. Once
Yeah.
and that's so me. It's like once I like you and I like I approve your message, it's over. Like I'm with
Yeah.
you till the wheels fall off. So I've been going to this guy for literally like 20 years, maybe even more. And I was telling somebody, I'm like, oh, I got to wake up in the morning. I got to go to my guy, and they're like, just go around town. And I'm like, no. I was like, "What's you have a mechanic?" I'm
Yeah.
like, It's better than a marriage," And I'm like, I'm like, I gotta go to them, you know. So
It's
see,
it's not so much that like they're gonna save you money. They're just not gonna overcharge you money. Like they won't. Like the guy I have, uh, the uh, West Covina tire shop right there next to the uh city hall. I've been going to him for like 20 years, and it's like if he says something like, "Hey, you need this," like, just do it. Like, it's not like, "Oh, I'm like, just do it, man." You wouldn't tell me I need it because he's like, "You don't need it now, but you're gonna need it." And he's like, "You need this now." I was like, "All right, just get it done." Yeah, it's just like I trust him. He's not, he's always been really cool with me, and that's the thing. It's like if you go somewhere else, you don't know. You don't have that rapport. You don't know if he's overcharging you, if he's trying to fuck you because he doesn't know you any better.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So while I was there, I was like, well, since I'm already here, let me stop off at the Cove. So I go there, and I see Maria, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And then I'm telling her I'm doing this 1 year challenge, and Calby's there, and everybody's really excited for me. They're like, "Oh, congratulations!" It's really strange. People are congratulating me for like being sober for I mean, it's already going on 4 months now, but
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh my god, how do you do it?" Like, just say, and I tell I'm like, part of the secret is not being close to here. That's
Right.
part of the biggest secret to this whole thing is like, well, I got to drive to the cove and I live a long way, so it makes it really easy. And especially because I mean, we partied around here in Inglewood. There's not really a good like place around here anyway. So it
I don't know. I like the bar that we ended up at.
with the Alea Aloha, that place, the one with the
No,
DJ
no, no. That was my
with
place.
the warm beer.
But that was fun. That had the good story. That had the good story. It had the Crip Santa
Yeah,
Claus, and then everybody's drinking their beer with ice because it's fucking lukewarm beer. Don't hate on that. It had it
yeah,
had its own niche.
yeah. Now, which bar are you? Oh, are you talking about the Cozy Inn in Culver City?
Is that what it was? Was that Culver City?
Yeah, where we had the Fernettes.
Yes, where we had the Fernets.
Yeah, that was a cozy. Yeah, that's an alright bar. Yeah, for sure.
I like that one. We were talking movies and what movie would be good with the Muppets. Remember that?
Yeah,
I think the bartender, I think, bought us a round of shots too.
yeah, yeah. So I've been doing it, and when I was leaving, you know, um, Thomas's sister was there, and she was just like, "Congratulations on your sobriety! It's so awesome!" And I'm just like, "Wow!" Like, like the support that I've been getting, and it's so weird. The mind games that we play with ourselves, like, "Oh my god," I'm like, if I come out of the closet as sober, like, will I be rejected? You know what I mean? It's just,
Like, what are you doing here?
yeah,
You leave.
but it has been the complete opposite, and so it's been very fulfilling, to say the least, to be on this journey and to know that I have a support group, that is being supportive. You've been supportive, obviously. Mo's been supportive, so it's been really good.
Well,
Um,
Mo's in the same boat. That's what I think. He's doing the 1 year challenge too.
Yeah. Yeah. So let us know, guys. It's never too late to start the year. Let us know if you want to join me in doing the 1 year challenge or if you want to wait a year or whatever. There's no time to start like now. And by all means, we'd love to have you on if you're doing this. And even if you're not doing it, we'd still
If
love
you
to
are
have you on.
drinking,
Yeah,
still drinks to work by.
exactly. Exactly. So,
No, no shall change.
feel free to be on the program. And with that, I don't know if we've talked about this or not either, but some sad news um, that I think I'm finally able to report is that Herbert passed away. He's my fish.
No way.
Yes, yes, but he's passed away for about 3 months.
Wait a minute. What?
Okay, so he passed away like I want to say in January, and I haven't been able to find his body. And that has been the hardest part. It is like I've been like looking and I swear I have not been able to find his body. And I don't know if that was just me just kind of like glancing everywhere, but I did some like water changes and some things that would like move things around. And maybe I was like maybe he left. Maybe he finally got his
Wait. So you don't know if he's officially dead? He's just missing.
he's no, I mean, I haven't fed him unless he's turned into some sort of chef. You know what I mean? For 3 months, no
So
food.
he Nemo escaped you.
I think he might have. I think he might have. I want to believe that at least. You know what I mean? I want to say maybe he left and decided to pursue his career in acting, and maybe we're gonna see him on the big screen. I hear he might be in the new Deadpool 3 movie and in the new Joker movie. So I don't know, but yeah, it took me that long. It took me 3 months to process. It took me 3 months to
To
just to
close the case.
yeah, it did.
Missing persons. What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
I'm all sad. Like it happened while I was away. Like, oh man, I'm sorry. So 3 months ago. What the fuck?
But it took me that long. Like every day I was just looking and peeping, and I couldn't find them, and I didn't want to report it. You know,
To
in
whom?
yeah,
Ace Ventura?
but I mean,
It's just so confused. Like I didn't want to report it. Who you gonna report it
I
to?
don't to the police. I don't know. I didn't know what to do.
Somebody came in. Somebody broke into my house. What they take? My fish.
That's it. And of
That's
all
it.
the things, my fish.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. So while I was there in West Covina, um I decided to get a new fish. I was like, okay, it's been 3 months. It's time. So with that, I have a new fish. Yoshimi sashimi is the name of my new fish, and he already has a godparent. I took him to the cove, and Mo decided to be the godfather of Yoshimi sashimi. So there it is. And
There
it's
it is.
yeah, it's great having, another fish. Um I'm still distraught over Herbert. Herbert had been with me for 3 years,
It's a long
and
time.
it
It's a
is
long
a long
time.
time. It is a long time. And he's the fish that's lasted that long. The only fish throughout my course of having fish. So yeah, it was tough, but it was finally time to move on because just watching that tank empty, and not only that, but like and I know it sounds dumb, but like having a pet regardless of whether it's in the tank or just walking around, having something alive in your home, it's kind of meaningful. You know, it's like, oh man, I actually have something to come home to. You know,
Yeah,
so it's been fun getting to know Yoshimi, um, and like this morning I was eating breakfast, you know, and just watching TV, and there Yoshimi just pops out. He just popped out right now again, and I'm like, oh, there it is, you know. So it's cool. It's nice. Unlike yourself, which have you have like 10 pets, you- you're becoming Noah's Ark.
yeah, yeah. Uh, yes, the two cats, the two dogs. Yes, it's a joy. It's a joy.
Yeah, you need to get a fish. You need to step up your game and get a fish too. You might as
No,
well.
no, no, no. I don't need anything else because you know I travel. I mean, and I don't trust the cats.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I totally get it.
I don't trust the cats. So yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
Especially Darla. Darla would be the one because she's the lighter one. The fat one can't jump high. So Darla's the one that would be jumping up and like, oh, what's this? Yeah. So
Yeah, totally.
yeah. Yeah, no. Well, I'm sorry for Herbert. I'm happy for Yoshimi.
Yeah, yeah. And in case you're wondering how I came up with Yoshimi, sashimi was there's a song by the Flaming Lips, because like all like up until Herbert, all my fishes had like action star names or like superhero names. I still have Thor though, my pet snail. Thor's been amazing, and I think I've had him for over 3 years as well. So yeah, and then I just got a new snail, a big snail, Colossus is what I call him. But yes, but I've been doing that. But Yoshimi's named after the song Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots by the Flaming Lips, and I've always liked that name. I've always been drawn to that name, so I was like, and my fish Yoshimi is pink, so I was like, oh, I was like, let's just name him after that. It works out.
I feel like Yoshimi, and I might be off. Sounds like a character from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That would be cool. I don't think so, but and I'm not saying I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fanatic, but I've seen all the movies and pretty much except for one of the cartoon series I haven't seen. Um,
Uh,
but I'm pretty much into
wasn't
the
the rabbit?
turtles.
Wasn't the rabbit they call Yoshimi?
It could be. We'll have to check that out.
We'll have to Google this later.
Yes, yes. But sashimi actually came um from Mo and his wife, because I was like, yeah, they're like, well, what's the name? And I'm like, Yoshimi. And then she's like, sashimi. And I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Let me just combine those two. And there we go. So
There we go.
yeah. So big ups to Sally for that, you know, because it was just Herbert, you know what I mean? But now, very Mexican, just one name. That's it. You don't get two. And then I was like, oh, well,
Very McLovin.
yes, yes. I was like, I'm like Yoshimi sashimi it sounds nice. It
Yeah.
flows. So I was like, let's do that. So yeah, so that's where I'm at now. And I'm hoping, and it took a lot of fish to get to create this tank to be where it's at now. So I have confidence in the tank that it'll support Yoshimi for at least 3 years. So here's to that. Um, yeah. So what else is new, David? Sorry to drop that big bomb, but
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's like it was a bomb with a plot twist. I was like, wait
right.
a minute. Nothing, man. I'll be home for till the end of May. Uh, just got back from Austin slash Detroit. It's gone 13 days, I think, something like that. Close to 2 weeks. Um, Yeah, it was cool. I love my coworkers. Detroit was cool. I got to meet Barry Sanders.
That's cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. So what was he like?
It was brief. I was running like the the beginning part of VIP drop off and other like parking stuff. And one of the cars came up and they were like, "Yeah, we're here for drop off." I'm like, "And the name?" They're all Barry Sanders, and I'm like, and the car was really tinted, so I'm like, "Is he in here?" And it just rolled down the window, and his Barry's like, "Oh, hey, pleasure to meet you. Go right ahead. Sorry about that."
I would have been like, which Barry Sanders? Barry with an A or an E?
But yeah, um, he was cool. I guess it was in passing, but you know, I got to meet a legend. Um, Came across some other Detroit Lions legends in like that's in passing. So um, no, it was fun. Went to it was funny. So the first night we get in Detroit, I'm with like with I think six white people and me going through the streets of Detroit, and we end up to we go to a soul food restaurant. It's quite you know it was curious because we walk in and I get patted down and I'm like, oh, the food's gonna be good.
Yeah,
Shout out to Fleds in Detroit. Yeah, and a DJ going. I'm like, what, is this a restaurant? What the fuck's going on? The bar's packed, and it's funny because like there's the restaurant right, and the security guards go. There's a table way in the back seat, you guys. So we go back there, and there's reserved seating. So we're like, fuck. I go back. I go, hey man, it's reserved and stuff. So like management gets together. There's another part of the restaurant that was like closed off, and they go, you guys good sitting over here, like all by yourselves, away from all the black people. We're like, yeah, we're good. And best collard greens I've ever had.
mm.
The food was delicious. Had yams, collard greens, and turkey ribs.
Turkey ribs.
Turkey ribs.
I didn't. This is
Yeah.
gonna sound very stupid, but I didn't know even know turkeys had ribs, let alone they
I
sold them.
mean, it was like it's like a turkey pork chop.
Mm.
So it was good fried. Yeah. I mean, the food was good. Ambiance was cool. The people were really nice. So Chicago, I mean Detroit. Sorry, ooh, my bad. Detroit was fun. It was really cool. Really enjoyed it. Um, I didn't get to I didn't get to enjoy it as much as I wanted to because you know when you start working your
Right.
12-hour days, you're like, and half the city was shut down. You know the way they have it set up, it's like hard to get around. You have to go
Yeah.
around all the fence line and stuff. So
I got to get my buddy on here, um, who is from Detroit, Eric. So I met him out here in Inglewood, and you know, it's been nice to have somebody to talk to every now and then. He comes over actually every now and then, so it's been nice to have that. But he's from Detroit and he goes there often, so I gotta hook you up next time you're in. I don't know when the next time you'll be in Detroit, but he's
actually, I might be going to Detroit again this year. There are some talks about some stuff going on, so I actually might be going back. Don't know when. Um, you know, the life of a freelancer or independent contractor. However, I freelancer. Freelancer sounds like kind of like mysterious. What does he
con-
do?
contractor is very mysterious too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
independent contractor. It could be a number of things. I could just say I'm an independent contractor. You drive Uber. There's a difference. No. So yeah, you know, I kind of live on a whim. I got certain jobs that are set up, and then everything else is just kind of as it comes. Like, hey, are you available? Yes, I am.
You're like, let me check my schedule. Oh yes, I'm free.
I am free. So no, I mean it's cool. Like I said, I might rumor is Lexington, Kentucky, end of May, and then somewhere else after. So you know, I know the Kentucky Derby's coming up this weekend.
Is that this weekend?
I think it's this weekend. I think Kentucky Derby's this weekend.
Wow.
It's a are you are you are you a Kentucky Derbyist?
Yes and no. Um, I don't follow it faithfully or anything like that, but um, if it's on TV, and this has been the story of my life, if something's on TV, and now that I have two TVs, if something's on, I have the main TV and then the little screen TV. And usually, on the weekends, golf is always on. So I just always have it on golf, or if there's like and then the main TV is usually reserved for something else, whatever. You got me into soccer, so like if there's soccer on, I'll just watch that on like channel 4 or something like that. But like I remember watching an NHL playoff game two, and then the reserve channel. But now that I have two TVs, I'll probably have it on the Kentucky Derby. On it's never big screen. It's never big screen. It's okay side screen. Unless
You don't call your bookie to place your bets on horse number 3.
oh, I would never do horse number 3, David. I'm a conspiracy theorist about the Kentucky Derby. I'm like, which is the most obscure horse here? I'm gonna place my bet on that. You know what I mean?
Are you what would you say that you say by name? That's your name?
Yeah, I'm like, like I never go by like the top 3. I always pick like, for lack of a better term, the dark horse, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
in the back, because that's who usually wins, you know?
I don't know. I don't. I mean, I don't follow horse racing enough. I mean, I've been to a horse race. I went to the horse races down in Del Mar
Yeah,
once with some friends.
where the surf
That
meets
was
the
cool.
turf.
Yeah. And that was cool. But other than that, no. I mean, it's just like I don't. It's kind of like car racing to me. They go left.
Yeah,
It's a little bit exciting because it's only one lap, and it's like come on.
yeah, yeah,
But it's more. I think it's more sport. Like if you're there, it's more exciting.
of course.
You know, some sports I rather watch on TV, like baseball, because it's just I don't like being out in the sun for that long for like a 1-1-0 game. Um, or especially with Dodgers right or charging now,
Right.
you know. Um, but I don't know. Horse racing is like it's fun if you're with a group. You know, I made a joke about I won't even, I'm not even gonna say the joke. Stop. Stop
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
But I like that there's like it's weird that I find like there's betting houses. There's
Mhm.
like little horse betting houses like randomly throughout like the state. Like there's one in San Bernardino next to what is it called? They hold like EDM events there. The NA Center. Is it the NA Center in San Bernardino?
Uh,
Like and within like the parking lot there's like an area where you can bet on horses. It's just wild. It's in the middle of nowhere. Like, yeah, just go in
yeah.
here and just start betting on horses.
Yeah, you know what? I've always really liked how they've always, horse races have always added something else, because it's like, okay, we know you're going in for the horse race, or you're not coming here for the horse race. Like I've seen a concert at Del Mar. I went to go see Cake, so it was like Cake performing. I've been to a beer festival at the one in Pasadena. I forgot the name of the place.
Santa Anita?
Yes, San
Santa Anita racetrack?
Yes, I've been there for like, so it was like horse racing, and it was, a beer festival and stuff like that. So I always liked how they always tie in something else. Like, well, come to this, and then, go ahead and bet on some ponies. So I've always admired that. Like not like at Dodger Stadium where you're just going for the game, and you'll probably see a fight, you know what I mean, or two. But yeah, yeah. So I've always kind of admired that about
Stay
horse
for the
racing.
fight, stay for the game.
Yeah, unless you're in the fight. Um, so there is that. But a lot of things are mainly reserved for the little screen. That's what I call it now. I'm like, oh, that's little screen activity. unless it's like football or the Dodgers or like something big that I kind of want to see. And two, even sometimes I'm watching a movie and I'm like, oh, let me, have on my little TV and, there's something else on, like, oh, I'll just put it on there. So I'm kind of watching a movie and then sneaking in, whether it's a car race or something like that and just seeing what else is kind of on. So,
Have there been any movies lately that you've like, oh, this is a good one?
you know what? I just and I could say this because we just released the podcast today, but I was able to go to the media screening of Fall Guy with
Oh, okay.
Ryan Gosling and dude, this Ryan Gosling, I he has been on such a tear. You
Hmm.
know, I loved him in La La Land. And I haven't seen Barbie, but I got to see him perform. I'm Just Ken, which was amazing. Um, and he's married to Eva Mendes, and
Hmm.
I'm just like, oh, that lucky motherfucker.
Son of a bitch.
He has like 3 or 4 kids with her too, you know,
Yeah.
and he is such a good guy. So it's hard for me to root against him. Not saying that I would root against anybody, but um, watching
I
this,
it's like him and Ryan Reynolds right now are like they're
mhm,
like the peak of like just entertaining movies and
exactly. It's so funny when you say that because when I was a little kid and we would be going to the movies, my mom would be always be like, "Oh, this person, like Tom Hanks." She'd be like, "Oh, Tom Hanks is in this movie. We got to go see it." I'm like, "Well, what about the movie? What's the movie about?" I never understood
it
that.
didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was Tom Hanks, buddy.
Exactly. And now that I'm older, I get it because I'm like, "Oh, Ryan Reynolds is in this. It must be good,"
Yeah.
or insert whoever I'm into, you know what I mean? So especially what's her name, Zendaya. I'm like, oh, Zendaya's in it, it must be good. You know what I mean? I have to go see this. So yeah, so I do understand that now. um but about the movie, I remember watching Fall Guy
The
on
show.
TV, right?
Yeah.
And so I already came in knowing what the movie was going to be about, but they kind of like explain it as well in the movie. And you know what? I forgot. Like it's been so long since I seen the Fall Guy, but you know, it's such a great premise, and I'm like, you know what? This is right. Like he's not really a superhero, but he's he could take a fall. He can, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So he has all these kind of like superhero things. And I said this in the podcast for the review, is that this movie is kind of a little bit for the people that make movies. It's kind of like an industry insider movie because some of the jokes that they do I didn't get, but like I could tell that it was like this is for people that actually make movies. And it was good to see um uh you know stuntmen and stunt women being propelled because they never get the credit.
Yeah, they
We
never
always
did.
give it to the Ryan Reynoldses and all them, and so it was nice to see them getting some credit. Now the movie in general, and I said this and I'll say it again, it's a popcorn movie. You want some brainless like whatever, you know what I mean? It's not going to change the world. You're not going to come out with a change in any of your beliefs. It truly is just I have nothing to do. There's nothing to watch. There's this movie with Ryan Gosling. Okay, I'll go see it. Type
Yeah.
type thing. So I don't know. I don't. I don't know what that meter is. I don't know if that's like a sick.
Hey, everybody's just
Uh,
different. Everybody
yeah,
everybody has a different like, all right, these are the movies that I watch because I want to shut my brain off and just go,
yeah,
catch some jokes here and there. Like I feel like Dune 2 would be like pay attention, you got
yes,
like you gotta do that. I want to watch that. I know my wife doesn't, so I have to find a time when she's at her house like, all right, I can watch this movie. Um Monkey Man is another one that I'm interested in watching. Have you seen anything on that one?
Uh, we did we did a show on that, and my movie reviewer guy talked about it. I had not seen it. I'd never even heard of it. But he talked a lot about it. He said that it was really well. So
Okay, so yeah, I want to watch that one. I haven't been able to watch a lot of movies, because of the travel. So I try not to watch a movie on a plane. I watch series.
really,
So yeah,
well, that's an interesting topic because I would figure a movie would be perfect because it's like your flight's what, an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours tops. So that's
yeah, but there's
perfect
always
movie
there's always
time.
like interruptions and shit. So it's hard to for me, like a series, I can stop it and like, oh, I have like 20 minutes. I'll stop watching it altogether and I'm good. I finished this episode. I don't want to start another one. Like a movie's like, I have to finish it. Fuck, I have to finish it. I don't have enough time to finish it. Like, um, so I'll download episodes. What do I fin I finished Fallout.
I've been wanting to watch that.
I enjoyed it.
I've never played the video game. I've never
Me either.
done anything, but
That
I
that's why, and that's why I'm okay with it. Like Halo, I never played Halo. I've already watched the 2 seasons of Halo. Um,
but it's Space
I
Marines. It's a Space Marine. You have to.
yeah, Space Marines. Um, so Fallout was entertaining. It was good. I think you'd enjoy it because it's not just. It's like they did a really good job of the different characters and how they've lived and survived these times. So it's like the quirky like ditzy person because they didn't know the harshness and stuff. So that's cool. I watched the first episode of Parasite in on Netflix. Uh, I was okay with it. Um, I never. So I'm just trying to get into that too. Anything else? Then just my anime stuff that I watch. Uh, is that something else? No, I mean just the stuff I watch with my wife, the Tracker, FBI, and the Resident. Uh, you have to have like couples
Right.
shows, and you have your shows. So couple shows over here and over here.
I
Yeah,
and with
you,
that, it's funny because Yoshimi is such a TV like hound. Like whatever I'm watching, he just comes up from the tank and he has like his like little spot and he's like watching it with me. So maybe me and Yoshimi need to have our own show. Like Yoshimi, this could be our show. But
yeah.
yeah. But when it's Dodger season, all my efforts go into the Dodger game. So usually after in like late October, willingly in November, um that's when I start watching just all the shows that I missed out on. So I have yet to get to the X-Men 97 because I'm still on the old X-Men. And
Oh, that's another one. Yeah, dude, you need to get on X-Men 97.
yeah,
You don't. I mean, did you watch it originally?
yeah, yeah.
I don't. You don't need to do that much backlog. You don't. I mean, I know you want to watch the whole thing. I didn't go back and watch every episode and follow the storyline because dude, this they've done a really good job of like introducing characters that never were in the original. They're like maybe because they own all the rights,
Yeah.
so they're able to do it. But yeah, it's a really good storyline going on, and it's there's some sad parts. It's like they're really just like I can't believe that one of those moments.
But for me, it's more of the fact, and I don't know if this annoys you or not, but whenever you're watching a series and you stop and you watch something else, it's still on there like, hey, you still have this to complete. So I'm like, I gotta finish this. So it's more of that. I know I could just
Ah, got you.
the Bad Batch. I watched the Bad Batch. I love the Bad Batch, but I was waiting for the entire season to be done so I could then just binge it and watch it all. And so it's there along with the X-Men. I'm just like, oh, I gotta finish these things before I can move on to the next part of it. So what it is for me. It's not that I like to, do a prequel or something like that, unless it's a movie. Like if it's like if I'm watching Dune 2, I'm like, oh, let me watch Dune 1 and then I can watch Dune just as a refresher course more than anything just cuz I do smoke the ganj. So, that kind of makes me forget some
The heck
stuff.
you say?
Yeah, which that has jumped up many, as well. So, um, but yeah, which is good because then my water intake just jumps up too. So the both go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Um, and so yeah, so that's what that's about for me. Can you do that? Can you watch a show, stop it, watch another show, and then when you log back on, you still see that show and still ignore it? Be like, I'll come back to that.
I have so many of those. I have so many of those. Uh, what did I start? I started like I'll start stuff on Netflix, and then it's like, oh, let me go over here, and then I lose track of it, and I'm like, I'll get back to it. I think there was that new sci-fi one that came out, the kind of the drama one, the three.
Oh yes, I need to watch that too. Yeah,
Yeah, I
three
want
body
to watch.
problem.
I started watching like the first part of it, and it's subtitled. You have to read it, the first part of it. So it was like, which is I'm fine with. It's just like I got caught up with something else, and it's like, okay, it's a show that you have to pay attention. It's not a show that you could just like catch it here and there. So I haven't got myself in the mindset where okay, I'm gonna sit down and watch this because then I got the dogs and shit and they're fucking bugging me and I'm like I can't concentrate because they want to play all fucking day. So we got the golden child and the crackhead. Like ball, ball, let's play ball. Like no, we just been playing ball for like 20 minutes. Let's play ball. Come on, let's play ball. Shut the fuck up.
See, a fish is not like that. A fish is so
I
unneedy.
know, I know.
All it cares about did you feed me that one time today, and that's all they care about. One time.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
which has been interesting because I've been trying to do, feed Yoshimi at the same time every day, but sometimes it just doesn't pan out this week. So um and today especially because today I work at night. So, and speaking of which, they changed. Does this happen to you? Like they changed up my hours yet again for like the third time this year, and it's
no, like I'm a freelancer.
yeah, yeah, but that's what gets me sometimes is I go in with one and then they change up my hours, they cut them, and then they give me even more hours. That they're like, we're changing your hours, we're giving you more hours. And I'm just like, dude, like I don't mind the money, but it's just like now I gotta start new kind of routines, and this week was all about that of like, oh fuck, I gotta start waking up at the same time. Before I was waking up at different times every day. It was like gradually I wake up later and later and later. And I kind of like that, to where Friday was just like, oh, fantastic, or Thursday. Thursday kicked it off. Thursday was like, I can wake up at, as long as I'm out the door by 9, I am good, and
Yeah.
then Friday is just Friday. So, it felt really good to then get to the weekend and I'm already in my like zone of no alarms. So now it's like every day I got to wake up to an alarm again and again. And I'm just like, oh, whose idea was it for an alarm? If, like screw going back in time and killing Hitler, we need to find out who made this alarm because that has ruined everything. Okay.
Now we gotta go back to FDR and fucking 5 day work weeks.
Yeah.
We gotta veto that idea.
Yeah. They're trying to bring, I know in the federal government, they're trying to do 4-day weeks. 4-day work weeks, which I'm all about, but in my line of business, I mean, I'm stuck with 5 days, but as long as I get my weekends off, I'm good. But weekends
But
are
I think it's more the fact that like uh with 4 days, depending on the type of job you do, that means they have to hire more people because then you're paying overtime past the fourth day, and it's like okay, I can either pay you extra way more than I should be, or pay somebody else. So that's I think that's kind of the thing is like if you do a 4 day work week now, you have to hire more people to compensate for the other days that people are going to be off. So it's just it's good. It's good because I love the 4 day work week. The first job I ever had was 4 day work week. I worked uh, Tuesday through Friday. I had Saturday, Sunday, Monday off.
Oh, that's great. I used to have Monday off too, and that was always like I was like Sunday night football, woo, you know what I mean? And then I just stay up late and just party as I see all these people. Oh, I gotta go. I have work in the morning, and I'm like, ah, and now I've become the person I mocked. Sadly,
What is it? What's the phrase like you you live long enough that you become like the villain type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's like haha, it's gonna
yeah.
get you, buddy. It's gonna get you.
Exactly. And with that, I'm going to be a villain really quick. I have to use the restroom. The gift and the curse that it's drinking water, you know. So Dave, is there anything that you can wax poetically about for like
Wax poetically. No. I have nothing going on right now. I did have a question for you, so I don't know if I want to ask it now and then. No, that's
okay,
not gonna.
give
I
me
need you here.
give me 1
Let's
second.
see. Let's see what I can work with. Well, it's
It's
like
only
I
a
have a
minute.
top.
Yeah.
The Roman Empire, the Roman Northern Empire. Discuss.
The everything bagel. Does it really truly have everything? Discuss. I'll be right back.
Go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to David's Minutes. Oh, shit, fucked up. These are the beautiful moments of a podcast when we have no third person. See, a guest would be perfect here. This is the time that any one of you who is free on a Friday morning, because unfortunately that's the only time we have to do the show anymore. Oh, we used to have so much time. Uh, want to be a guest? Feel free. You can log into a website, drinks the words by. You go to the Instagram, drinks the words by. You go to the Venmo, give us a little money, and then leave a note saying I want to be on the show. By all means, hit us up. But no, I mean, if you enjoyed the last episode where we had guests, we did. We love guests. We love having somebody else to talk to. There's just so much that Albert and I do in our lives that we are to continue this conversation. So please, please join us. Even ask questions. Just send questions in. Just give us other topics. Give us something that you feel that you'd like to hear us discuss in our whimsical ways, because that's kind of the thing we do. We just try to make things funnier because our lives aren't exciting. Well, I mean, we have our moments. I'll tell you that much. Getting to travel really is cool. I'm glad I don't work in an office anymore. I say that like in like 3 months I'm gonna be in an office. Sucks. Hey, look, he's back.
I am. All right. And I
Yeah,
washed my
I
hands.
was. Yeah, I was trying to commercial the idea of getting us guests on the show.
That's a perfect 1 minute, you know,
Yeah,
talk
and I
about.
was like, see, these are the moments where a guest would be great. Then we still have somebody else to talk to.
But you know what? Well, this was all going on. I was like, I was thinking, I was like, how can I, do I have the stuff so that I can make a microphone and everything? Like I could still walk because I don't know if I showed you this or not. I have this ready for whenever we go back to the bar, but it's just like in baseball. It's one of those headsets, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
Because like when we're at the bar, like I'm kind of moving around, I'm doing kind of a little bit more stuff, and so I kind of need the microphone and headset all together, you know. Um, but all I kept on thinking was like this could be my restroom headset, but then
Please no.
yeah,
Please no. Then you got to pee sitting down.
Sorry about that. No, no. You know what? Then no. Then I would overthink it because I'm like, oh my god, do I have to keep a bottle of water so like my stream could sound even larger than what it is? Do I fake my stream? You know what
Do
I
I
mean?
fake my screen? Bawoosh. Yo, buddy bawoosh.
Yeah. So I'm always thinking of that too. You know, like sometimes when all the urinals are taken and you got to use the toilet, you know, and you know I'm just like, oh my god, do I pee in the water? Do I, do a light stream? You know, like I overthink everything. You know, so I'm like, will people just, say, talk shit about my stream? I don't know.
Do people think that I might have a problem with my prostate?
I didn't even think of that, but
You're washing your hands, sir. You seem kind of light. You might want to go see a doctor.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, maybe we'll just keep it where I keep the bathroom private during these times. But
Yeah.
yeah, guys, feel free to email us or drop us a DM if you want to be a guest. And we the last guest that we had that rap group, and it did very well on the YouTube streams, and of course it did well, of course, on the pod, just on the audio streams as well. So it works. It works to be a guest. I remember Isaiah was going to be a guest, and that just didn't pan out. Um, but I know the 24th I don't have to work because that's Memorial Day weekend. So we'll see about that. You know, um, with that, and I didn't think about this till now, but because I'm not drinking, I have been getting into non-alcoholic beer. So I have with me two different types. I have one from a brewery right by my house, and they have a couple. They have three different types of non-alcoholic beer, but their non-alcoholic beer is so popular that it sells out. So I usually only could get like one of the three types, and I got a lager that I have waiting in the wings, but I just got it, so it was like, you got to give it time in the refrigerator to get like nice and cold.
Yeah.
Just like anything. And then I also got this beer that I found out that they sell at Dodger Stadium called Athletic Beer, and it's non-alcoholic as well. So I've been kind of getting into that too, just because I don't know, like I don't know if it's just me doing that placebo effect or not, but it's like when I'm watching baseball or any type of sport, and sports and alcohol just go together hand in hand.
Yeah. That and cooking. Like I feel like like I said, I've cut back my my drinking. But like last night I made a arroz con pollo and I was like,
Mm,
I gotta I gotta I gotta have a little drink. So I had a drink
yeah,
and just kind of like, hey. Usually I have like the drink during cooking and then the drink during dinner, and I'm like, no, just do the cooking one and let's relax. Um, so yeah, I mean, I get it. There's certain aspects that you correlate, like you got to have a drink.
yeah, yeah.
So
Like I'm looking forward to tonight. I know that sounds weird because when I get home from work, that was always the thing on Friday night. My Friday night drink, was always the big thing, and I didn't have that. I would just come home and be like, okay, let me, now it's time to decompress, and nothing against the water that I would drink, or the mineral water that I would drink, or the flat water I would. I have like four different types of water too that I keep. By the
what do I
way,
feel like today?
exactly. Which
Like
but
a restaurant. You want sparkling or flats?
yeah, yeah, but that's so indicative of me because you've seen me at the bar, and I'll have like three different random, just completely opposite drinks, you know, with me. So like, I know it seems strange, but in my universe, if I don't have three different types of something, It's odd. So yeah, I just got this bubbling grape because I love grape too, and this grape sparkling bubbly like soda water, and I'm like, ooh, grape. So I'm interested in trying that too. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll save that for the morning or the afternoon. With that.
Cool.
So it's now time for sports, ladies and gentlemen. Sports. Yes.
Let's
So,
go. Let's run this. Let's run the gauntlet. NBA playoffs. Lakers
and
are out.
oh man, and you know what? The last two NBA Laker games, they just missed it. Like I watched the final, and to lose by 2 points at the very end was tragedy.
Yeah,
Tragedy. And I believe the week before that, or the game before that, they just lost by like 4 or 5-2. So they were just in there, and
yeah,
all I could say is, well, at least we won the in tournament. You know,
yeah. We got in
we
because
got
hey,
it.
it speaks. Yeah, because I mean the Warriors didn't get in, so that's they're like the upper echelon. They weren't even in the playoffs this year, so it speaks to the disparity that's coming across the NBA, which is a good thing. It's a good thing for it's like the lowly teams and stuff. Um, but you actually brought it up to my attention. I haven't really been able to keep up with sports. The incident with the player and the fan.
Yeah, yeah. For those that don't know what we're talking about, the Milwaukee Bucks were playing, and this happened at I want to say it's like kind of like at the tail end of the
Yeah,
game with like a couple minutes left. And who's the guy? Beverly something,
Pat
right?
Beverly.
Yeah,
Pat Beverly, who's
yeah.
synonymous with kind of Draymond Green. He or Dylan Brooks. He's a character. He's like he plays to play the villain.
Oh, really? Okay. So I've no idea who this guy is.
Yeah,
To me he's just a guy. But he gets a ball and he throws it at a fan. And at first I'm like, oh, that's cool. I get to keep a basketball. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
how I
and
took it.
he hits a woman in the head, right?
Yeah,
And it looked like the guy was like, hey, cool, and he tosses it like gingerly back.
yeah,
I watched it, and then Pat Beverly grabs the ball and like rethrows it, like fucking fast passes it with his thumbs and everything,
yeah,
right at the fan again. So I'm like, dude, you're gonna get suspended. I mean, you're eliminated from the playoffs,
yeah.
but you're gonna be suspended for the first couple of games of next because you legitimately threw a ball at a fan.
Mm,
He didn't throw it back at you. He threw it back to give it back to you. You could tell the difference in the way he tossed it, like there was an arch to it. Because the first one he tried to throw and it hit a woman in the head. So one,
right,
you're already in the bad. Like, oh, I was just tossing it to a fan. You could have got away with that.
right.
Like, oh, I missed. He missed it. It was. But the second time, it was legitimately he threw a ball at a fan.
Yeah, yeah. But the gift and the curse that is the NBA is, I believe, this is the closest in any sport that you get to the team. I'm
Yeah,
like,
like the Lakers set up, like it's bench fans and then the clock and stuff. Like you have fans between the players and where they go and check in. Like they're right there.
yeah, no other sport has that. So I mean, I get it. I mean, those tickets must cost a fortune.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you're gonna get that interaction. And if you're a crazy fanatic and you have the money, you can really go and do some damage, and talk shit. And I know, like, players are used to that, but when you're frustrated and you're losing, and then it's just all the wrong elements lining up correctly. And I'm not trying to defend Pat Beverly, but you have all those elements and you're frustrated and you're just fucking over it. You know what I mean? And there comes that fan right there, Um, that must be hard from a security perspective, because like how do you even try to stop that? Now, and I say this to my security expert, David Macias, ladies and gentlemen.
You okay? So like, yeah, you. Here's the thing: is you have so much space. You can only have like one guard for such a large area, and things are being said the whole time. You can't really tell somebody like, "Oh, hey, don't say that." It's unless you're told like, "Hey, can you get them to calm down?" Like, "Hey, guys, look, you can relax a little bit." But you also, it's not. It was more from the player. That's the problem. Like fans are gonna talk shit. Like you hear uh like soccer fans in England, like they have songs that talk shit about people, and the whole crowd's singing them. You know what I mean? You get paid millions of dollars. You have to be able to control yourself in a situation like you have to be able to tune that out. You know what I mean? Um, but as far as a security standpoint, it's just always being aware of what's going on. Like you hear somebody talking shit, you keep an eye on the person who's talking shit. That's the huge thing. It's like you hear it and you kind of see it. They now have your majority focus. You have to still look at other things, but now they have your majority focus of the rest of the game in regards to you being a problem. You know what I mean? But and then if I am sitting like towards the front, like by the court, and this guy's 10 rows up talking shit, it's like it's hard to like, and then you're leaving your post. So there's like a lot of different factors you have to take into consideration in regards to like being security and kind of seeing what's your biggest issue. And like you take a glance at all everybody and you can see, okay, there's a dad with his kid. Chances are they're not going to be a problem. You see the girl, like the expensive looking girlfriends that are there, or the girls are like trying to find like their NBA player sugar daddy. You're like, they're not going to be a problem. It's like you look for the fan, like you look kind of slobbish. You look like you're going to talk some shit. I'm going to keep an eye on you. That's just it. You just gotta like you gotta pick and choose who's going to get the majority of your attention. So it's like being at a bar. You know, you can kind of see like, okay, you're being loud and obnoxious. I have to watch you. I have to see how much you're drinking, and if you get more loud and obnoxious, and are you gonna talk shit to some people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it. But and it just seems that the NBA is would be the hardest to control. Like baseball, it's so hilarious, but I get it. Like once it's the in the change of the ending, the mid ending, all there's security guards in the stadium, and then there's security guards on the field, and it's just like they're showing their presence, like, hey, look, if you're gonna mess around, we are totally going to be a part of this. And not only that, but they're always constantly, this might be just Dodger games, but they're constantly like, if someone's messing around or someone's here's the number to text. You know what I mean? They're always just like, which is kind of cool. And I would wish more. And it's sad that we have to get to that point, but I wish more. Sports teams would do something like that. And again, I only go to the Dodger games when I can afford it, and I can't afford it this year. Thanks, Otani. But I
You
rarely
could
go
use
to
those. Your guy could use those millions that he gambled with and got people seats.
exactly. So yeah, so I thought it was just interesting, especially the playoffs, man. The playoffs bring out all the weirdos as well. So yeah, interesting take. And with that, I saw the Clippers, and it was funny watching that playoff game because they were just getting rolled like two times in the games. They have a game, I want to say tonight. They just got
Yeah,
rolled by like 30 points. I'm like, 30 points. I was like, "Jeez, man, these guys just kind of gave up, you know?"
yeah.
And
I
it
think they're down 3-2.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
with the must-win game tonight. And sometimes those are the best games. Those, And some teams need that. They need that gun to the head, you know what I mean? To be
Yeah,
like, dude,
pressure.
we
Yeah.
we need to win this game. So it should be a good game. I'm hoping tonight. Uh, but we will see. But during this whole entire time, they're doing commercials for the wall. Which is for those that don't know, the Clippers, they're gonna have a brand new stadium into it. I live literally 2 miles away from it, and with that, they're gonna have this brand new fan experience where they've been marketing it as only fans are allowed here. You can only wear Clipper gear.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how are they gonna enforce that? Are they gonna have somebody like that gets a ticket and they're like, well, you're not wearing Clipper gear. I'm sorry. You just paid an X amount for this, and we're not gonna allow you in.
Well,
That
here's the
is,
thing: it's like it's what is it? It's like $1,200 for the season.
yeah,
It's like a so I mean you're not going to be a non-Clipper fan and just buy this ticket. Now they're worried about people who like, oh, you can have my ticket, I'll resell it. So I
yeah,
get it. There's probably rules and regulations in regards to the deal. But did you see that it's first come first serve? So you're gonna have people that are in like fucking 3 hours before the game waiting in line because it'll be the closest seat that they can get. Because it's like it's just you can't be late because you're gonna be up here. You paid all this money, you'd be like, wait the fuck up here,
yeah,
or you can be early.
yeah.
So
And dude, I mean, the parking around there, and I don't know if I've said this before, but Inglewood, they're like, yes, city of champions, and their real, slogan should be like city of no parking.
but there's a parking structure right across the street now.
There is, but that's gonna get filled like I've passed by that parking structure, and it kind of looks like the parking structure across the street from the Cove. You know what I mean? And I'm like, this is gonna get filled up in like 10 seconds. You know, and the other parking structures around, like there's a place right by there, and it's I forgot what they're developing it as, but it's gonna be really cool. But that's where they have this movie theater place, Cinepolis, and there's a parking structure there, but it says, "Hey, no game parking." Like, this is strictly for the people here for this development that they're making, and I even think there's like a 3 hour limit, and then after
Hmm.
that it just skyrockets or whatever, the parking. So we'll definitely see what's going to happen at Intuit. And I mean, right, that little cluster where SoFi and Intuit and the forum is just a disaster during games and during all that stuff, which is why I bike.
Events and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I either bike or walk there. Beyond saving money, it's just for that. And what sucks is I really like that movie theater, but I have to bike there, or anything, because if I try to go there during a regular day, I'm screwed because of all the events that are happening at that little cluster. So, um, it'll definitely be interesting. But I do like the fact that they are doing this whole wall thing, but at the same time, what I don't like is it's not fan made. And I'll tell you my example is, there's the 352 section at BMO Stadium for the LAFC, and that was just kind of happened by accident. I want to say it was just a fan supporter group, and they just kept on buying tickets, and they're like, "We'll just make it the 352," type thing. So that was kind of like the fans created that. Whereas this is where I felt like this is more of like a corporate creation than anything, and more of like, see, we have fans, type thing for the
Yeah.
Clippers.
No, I get it. But it's also, I mean, it's marketing, right? It's like it draws people in. It's like, oh, I want to be a part of this fan base. Like I'm a fan, and I can pay this a certain amount, and I have a chance to be there. And you can gauge like, okay, I got here 2 hours early, and I'm still like mid row. I got to get here like 4 hours early. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start camping out for games. So, but it's the experience, right? You have to be there and go, okay, this is like I've never been this close to an NBA game before. It's cool.
yeah, definitely. The Kings moving on to other playoffs, which was really cool. Like last week, I had a bunch of playoff games going on at my job, and it was cool. I was like, man, I got NHL playoffs, I got basketball playoffs going on, and there's something about playoff season that just makes it kind of magical wherever you're at, in my opinion. And the Kings got taken out, and man, that was tough. So it was just like all my playoff teams are kind of out now. So the playoffs become meaningless, at least to me. Um, because I'm like a fan of like the teams. Where it's kind of like football. I love the Chargers. I'm a huge Charger fan. But if the Chargers aren't in, I'm like, well, I'm still gonna watch it. You know what I mean? Like I like the sport in general. And like
Yeah.
baseball, if the Dodgers aren't in it, then I'm like, screw it, I'm not watching it. So that's
Yeah, I'm like that. Like when like I get with Eldwin and Gerard, and like we get together and go watch football. It's like, yeah, we're there for one game or like one team, but with everything else going on, you get to enjoy sports for like all of it. So it's that's the thing. So with football, you can keep going and still watch great plays and all this stuff. All other sports, like my team's done. Like I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, and because you mentioned that, let's talk really quick. We mentioned it just briefly, but you were at the NFL draft. I like what is happening with the draft, how it's becoming an entire like experience, you know. But at the same time, and I've had this conversation with we have a new chef, well, an old new chef. Our old chef returned, and he's a huge sports guy. So like he's constantly talking to me about sports. So he's helping me kind of like along. Not that I'm not a big sports guy or anything like that, but I'm a casual sports guy, to say the least. But we were talking about the draft, and I was telling him like the my one big thing about the draft is the first round. I'm like because 50%, maybe 60, I want to say, end up being busts during the draft. I'm like, the draft is really about the later on picks because those are the secret gems for that. But with that, it was really interesting to see. I want to say the 36 teams that picked in the first round, maybe 10 of those picks were not linemen. So it was interesting to see what everyone else was doing. They were all just building up their offense and defensive line. What are your thoughts on the draft?
Well, I mean that's the thing is like linemen. It's they don't. A lot of them don't have long careers because you're always banging in there. Um, and every play starts with the line, offense or defense. Like if it's a running play, receivers don't touch the ball. If it's a passing play, running back doesn't touch the ball. It's quarterback and line that they're always involved in every aspect of the play. So linemen are important. Um, you have a few like outstanding stars, and it really just depends on needs, right? Like this year, a lot of linemen got like last year it was a lot of quarterbacks and receivers, and it just depends on what you need at that time. Like you have to take stock into what's important for you at that time. It's like, can I get this same quality next round, or do I need to take it now before somebody else does, and then we're fucking assed out? It's a weird. I mean, that's why they're called the war rooms, right? It's like they're the coaches and GMs and fucking owners. They're going like, okay, this is what we need. What do we do here? What do we do here? Like it's months of planning for this fucking 3 day event. So I don't know. It's very it's really cool to like to look at it like that way. And I mean, they have the movie Draft Day, which kind of gives you kind of like a one feel of it for one team, but just to think of it that aspect for every team in the NFL, it's like that's why they're always clapping and stuff. Like, all right, we got the guy we wanted. Cool. Now we get to start our fucking our career. I mean, our year right or better or our future. And the first couple of, but you see that the first couple of picks were quarterbacks and a receiver because you need staples to to do that, and then you build around that. So like this year, the Bears got their quarterback. They started building their line for their quarterback last year. Who they're like, yeah, we're done with you. You know, it's the way it goes. I mean, NFL is fickle.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful fickle sport. I'm very disappointed this year in that rule where you can't waste tackle.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm just confused. I'm kind of confused how anybody can tackle. You can't hit him in the head. You can't hit him in the waist. You can't low tackle. I don't know. It's like, dude, I don't know how they're going to tackle. Like, there's going to be like no tackling in the NFL this year.
and maybe the Chargers will finally win the Super Bowl with that. We have a shot, guys.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So yeah, that's definitely interesting to see what's going to happen and all the other changes. I think they're still trying to get rid of the kickoff, and they're still trying to figure out how to do that. And I think what I've been watching on the new football league that's happening which I kind of like. I like this new football league, the USFL, I think it's called, which
the new old league. Yeah,
yeah, the XFL, SF, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Is that's where they're taking these ideas and that's where they're implementing them and seeing what works, what does it before it goes and moves on to the NFL. Kind of like I kind of like it, or it's kind of indicative of the AL in baseball. The AL was kind of like that experimental league where they just did other stuff, and then the NL was just kind of like the old timey old rules, and then they finally merged the two. So I kind of like that, and we'll see where everything else goes. But the XFL US, whatever it's called, it's fun. Like I'm watching it, and it's big screen. It's not little screen. It's big
mm,
screen for me. So
Big Street
um,
Sports. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I think this upcoming year they're implementing the Halo. Have you seen that?
Oh,
So I don't know if you ever seen it where like some in practice they have like a big pad, a big
yeah.
fucking memory foam pad on top of
Yeah.
the helmet practice. You can choose to wear it during a game.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know what? I have seen that, and it just looks, I'm not gonna lie, it looks dumb. I get it. It's not meant for
aesthetic
aesthetic
reasons.
reasons. It's
Yeah,
meant for, yeah, but if they just do another design on it, I think they just make it look a little cooler. I think it'll be used a lot more. But I think linemen should at least wear those.
yeah.
At least linemen, because they're constantly bashing, constantly doing all that. But and that'd be kind of cool too, because then you would know who the linemen are in a sense, because
But you kind of do. I think it's funny because it's like you have to think of like that adds an extra 2 inches to the top of the helmet of alignment, and they're already tall. Now the quarterback has another extra 2 inches he has to like over
yeah,
to fucking like, oh, there's my guy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't even think of that. Okay, but I mean, those guys are getting the most. They're getting hit, so I'm just.
Oh no, I agree. I'm not faulting it. They should design them so they look like the actual helmet.
Oh
They
yeah,
just-
that'd be kind of cool. Yeah,
yeah, that'd be funny. It'd be cool.
yeah, um, yeah. Is that it for sports?
I think that's it for sports, sir.
All right, last call for topics. David, any topic
I,
you wish to discuss?
I had a question for you. Do you think everybody has that one bury a body friend?
As far as like you would call somebody and be like, we need to bury a body, or somebody that you
Yeah.
want to bury.
No. Like you're like something happens, you have one friend you need to call, like, I need you to come. We're gonna do something. Kind of like the town, we're gonna go somewhere, we're gonna do some bad things. You can't ask me anything. Your car or mine. Do you have that friend?
Unfortunately, I have more than one. I could get an entire because Ocean's 11 team. You know what I mean? I feel to kind of do very nefarious things, if you will. I don't. I would never do anything like that. I'm one of those people that, if I'm going to do something, I don't want anyone else involved. I'm kind of I don't know what the word is, but I'm very much like that. Like I only want to take sole responsibility because if I'm the one that gets caught, I don't want anyone else to have to pay for my sins. Even though I know tons of people would love to do that, I'm kind of like that. But I have a
Yeah.
thousand people at least, at least. What do you
I
think
think
of that?
everybody has that friend, right? Everybody has, like I said, at least one. I mean, it's. I think we've gotten to the world where it's like you only had one. Now they're like, I got a couple. I got a
Yeah,
couple people. We're all in this together. Like, fuck it. All right, call me. Let's go.
yeah, yeah. Um, I would, with you, David. I know you could call me, but I'd be like, I'll pick you up. You could do the deed. You pick me up that way. Like it's more like I didn't take part of anything. You just needed a
Yeah,
ride. I picked him up. I didn't know anything. Like
deniable plausibility, sir.
exactly, exactly. But to be fair, this is all. I know nothing. You know what I mean? Just in case they ever look this podcast up. you know, it's like they predetermined this a long time ago. Nope,
Yeah,
nope,
they were
nope.
talking about this. They were talking about this.
Yeah,
Accidentally, episode 178.
exactly. So this is just all, just I'm just spitting. But
Hearsay. It's hearsay.
exactly, exactly. Um but
Entertainment purposes only.
yeah, exactly. But that'd be great. Imagine we had to listen to 178 episodes. Like, thank you for listening.
Thank you, thank
Um,
you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for pumping up the numbers.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that it's interesting to live in a world where doing doing rather nefarious things. You know what I mean? We have people and that's as weird as that sounds, that's a good thing to have. It's good to have people that you trust. Because social media, and always hate saying that, but social media has created friendships, but just they're not friends. What was it? I was reading, and it said something like normalize. This was somebody I knew in high school. This was somebody I knew in this, instead of saying that they're your friend, because not everyone's your friend. These are just people that you knew or grew up with during a certain period of time.
It no, it's. I think it's funny because it's like this is my Facebook friend. Like we were friends. We like you could say we were friends in high school, but now we're acquaintances. Like you can backtrack from being friends. You can go from acquaintances to being friends, and you can go from friends to being to turn into acquaintances. Because I mean, there's a number of people who like you said you keep track, like you like their photo and stuff like this. Like you don't see them, you don't talk to them on the phone, you don't have their phone number, you have their account, you have their fucking their ats,
Yeah,
and it's weird. Like some people, like I always say, like the people who I know, like it's your birthday, I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna make it a point to give you like, hey, I have your number. I'm gonna text you. I'm not gonna just leave a message on the book.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you could do that too. You could do the whole trilogy. You know what I mean? You could
Oh yeah, cover
call.
every aspect. This is
Yeah,
how much I consider your friend. I'm gonna tell you 3 times
exactly.
the same thing.
I did the trilogy with you, man. And you could even do a prequel. You could call them like the day before or something like that. So you know, so you could do all that stuff.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, yeah. Good question. Good, good topic. Anything else?
I'm good there. You?
Yeah, I have one thing, and that's this week I'm going to a wedding of my cousin PJ, and it's gonna be interesting. And I hate saying this or whatever. Maybe I'm making too much of a big deal, but like like. I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna be, not drinking. I'll if they have coffee, I'm gonna be hitting that coffee, station like crazy, But it's so weird the games that we play with ourselves, because I'm like, this is kind of like my coming out party with my family. A bunch of people know that I'm not drinking right now and doing the year challenge. And it'll be interesting, but I don't want to take away from, not that like me not drinking is gonna be like an entire like family, like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? You know what I mean? Type thing. But it's just interesting that I'm doing it there. And yeah, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just kind of like overthinking it in general, because you go to a wedding and usually 9 times out of 10 it's open bar. You know what I mean? And it's fantastic. But at the same time, that's not, it's because it's an open bar, it doesn't give you license to get crazy. At the same time, you have to have some sort of restraint with that, and I've never had good restraint with that. I'm not gonna lie. So
Yeah.
it'll definitely be. This is actually definitely my first tough challenge during this. Um, during that time. So I hopefully there's coffee. Coffee will save me. If not, I'm doing the the soda water with lemon and lime, in a cocktail glass, and just walking around like that. You know,
So everybody thinks you're drinking.
I mean, I am, but it's just not alcoholic. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if they have any non-alcoholic beers. I've been noticing more and more that non-alcoholic beers, like where I go and I buy all my stuff, it's getting more shelving. There's more shelving space for it, so it's definitely becoming a thing that
Yeah.
I'm glad it's becoming a thing.
Yeah. That or you can take your own six pack.
I was thinking of that. You know what's funny? I just purchased a little Playmate cooler um, to do all that. Because I'm like,
Okay.
well, wherever I go now, uh, there's going to be alcohol. And, with it being around, not that it's going to, tempt me, but there's just a little temptation in there. But it's like if I just, like I always think of my uncles. Like my uncles always carry around their own little, you know, um portable coolers. And I'm like, man, I'm becoming my uncles. Now I'm just carrying around my own portable cooler, with an assortment of non-alcoholic drinks. And I was thinking about that too. I'm like, anything could be a non-alcoholic drink. You know what I mean? I'm like, you could call Coke an NA beer. You
Not
know what
real.
I mean? It's like
Yeah.
anything could be an NA beer because it's no alcohol. So yeah. So I was thinking about that, but I purchased that just in case for kind of the future use. Of all that, especially now that I have all these different types of NA beers that I'm keeping. Do you have that? Do you have a cooler that you would carry around, or
No.
no?
No. 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 I mean, it's called a flask. Uh,
Well, that's for
they're called
liquor, but
flasks.
like your own beer and stuff like that.
Yeah. No. 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 I mean, if I'm going somewhere, I'm planning on spending money on what is there. But yeah. No. No cooler. No. The only times we buy coolers are like the styrofoam ones when we're doing
Yeah,
shows, so that we have like water during like because it's like 100 degrees in Austin, Texas. So it's like we got a cooler out here. Okay, cool.
yeah, that's cool. All right, guys. Well, if you have any suggestions, or you just want to DM the show, go ahead, hit us up on drinkswordsby.com. There you'll see our Instagram handle at drinks to words by. There you'll see the plethora of streaming platforms that we are available on. Take us anywhere on the go, or watch us on our YouTube channel. I got a YouTube banner. Just go ahead and click on all that. And we do have a Venmo, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead, hit us up on the Venmo, and give us some money. How about that? Throw some fazools our way, and help us out. I
Okay.
used our Venmo the other day, and this sucks because the people that follow us on Venmo think that we have money because I had to use my credit card, and I got the streaming service, and the only way that they took the money was through this Cash App or through Venmo. And so I tried the Cash App, I couldn't figure it out. That's when I knew I was old. I was just like, how do you even do this? This is And so I'm like, okay, let me use Venmo. And so I tried to set up an account, but the account was like, you already have an account with Drinks and Words by. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I didn't. So I was like, okay, let me tie my credit card to this really quick, and then I sent it, and all I kept on thinking was like, people must think that we're actually getting donations because I just sent like a bunch of money to this one person for this streaming service, and but guys, no, that was me. You have not given us money, but if you want to, feel free. Slide in the Venmo at Drinks Towards By, and go ahead and email us again at drinkstowardsby@gmail.com. And that's I guess our spiel. Um,
Spiel.
yep, and
Final cheers.
yeah, final cheers. What are we cheersing to today, David?
Well, now that I have this information, cheers and farewell to Herbert. You were
Yes,
a good fish. May you have escaped down a drain and find your family. You'll be missed. Cheers.
damn it, dude, that was my cheers. I'm gonna do a double cheers on that because um, I, Herbert, I loved you, man. You were with me through thick and thin. You were there in in my studio, and now you moved with me to my home, to our condo. You see me at my best, shit, you see me at my worst, and through it all I really felt that you and me shared a great connection. So you will always be missed, and I would love for you to be my security question, but now that everyone knows that you are my favorite pet, I can't use you as my security question. So but just know that you would be.
You would be on the
Yeah.
north. You'd be
Yeah, yeah, but because we've talked about you, everybody's gonna know. So,
because of your fame.
exactly. But you'll always be my first thought as for my security question. So, here's to you, Herbert.
Cheers.
Man. Well, guys, that's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We truly, truly appreciate you. And if you truly do appreciate us, send us some money. Okay, David, that's gonna wrap it up for the show. David, kick us out.
Cheers, everybody. Have a good one. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.
We're out of here. Later.